Hi guys, welcome to my channel Happy High Tarot. In today's pick a card reading, we will find out what has the person on your mind realized about you. So you can see an image on your screen right now. You've got three options to choose from. Feel free to pause the video over here, meditate on all your options, pick whichever one calls out to you the most. You'll find the timestamps in the comment section as well as in the description box below. So make your choice and let's get started. Hello group 1, if you guys chose the first image, let's find out what has the person on your mind realized about you using the oracles to begin with. So the oracles that came out for you guys are Not, which says relationships. Then we have Movement, Bittersweet, and we have Archangel Raziel, which says Wisdom, Inspiration, and Akashic Records. Alright. For some of you, there might be a 10-year age gap between you and the person on your mind, or it's been maybe 10 weeks, 10 months, or perhaps even a decade since this connection has ended. Perhaps there was some 10-year cycle that was going on between you guys. One of you might be 35 years of age at the moment. October might be significant over here. August might be of significance over here. Anyway, so what has this person realized about you? Well, first things first, with Not and Movement, I do feel like one of the biggest realizations that this individual is having at this point in time is that whatever the reason was because of which they left you and decided to exit this connection wasn't that big of a deal. In fact, although this is a knot, if you see, it's a very loose knot. It can easily be untangled. But right after that, we have Movement. So whoever this individual is, instead of staying and instead of trying to fix the problem that had occurred, because it's quite possible over here with Bittersweet that this was one of those connections which, well, like pretty much every other connection, had its fair share of highs and lows. But the problem is that with this person, whenever there was a low, they would just escape. There was this heavy tendency of escapism in this person, which is dawning upon them now. So now they know that, and especially this Movement card over here, I feel like whatever it was, it could have been solved with communication. It could have been solved with just openly talking to each other, more so them. If there was anything that was bothering them, they could have talked it out with you, but instead they chose to leave. And definitely with Bittersweet, there is lots and lots of nostalgia that is coming up, creeping up on them now. So they're definitely feeling very nostalgic about the good times that they spent with you, no matter how long ago it was. Just in general, the way that you used to make them feel, whatever memories you guys had created together, it seems like it all just comes rushing back to them. And the girl holding the cake over here, she is shedding some tears. So I do feel like they get very teary-eyed when they reminisce about you and this connection now. In fact, Wisdom tells me that they sometimes wish that the realization that they're having now, they wish they'd got that earlier. Even if they feel like they'd gotten it that bit earlier, they could have probably made some amends. But now, of course, because the reading begins with the Not, they feel like there's just too much to deal with now between you and them. Just too much to be solved now. Too many knots now to be untangled. Too much to declutter, too much baggage. You know what I mean? And somewhere with Movement, definitely the failure on their part to take timely action is also coming up over here very strongly. Now, it is possible for some of you with Movement over here that at the time that you guys separated or they left, they could have then relocated elsewhere, or perhaps you relocated elsewhere. And if they are the ones who relocated, they didn't come back for you. If you're the one who relocated, they didn't come after you. They just did not try hard enough, is what they're realizing. Somewhere with Movement and Not, it is also possible that the person on your mind could have assumed that if in the future there is going to be some physical distance that's going to come in between you guys because of work, career, higher studies, whatever it is, They could have made a big deal out of it than it was supposed to be. They could have assumed that, oh, if we are now in different cities or different countries, how the hell will we make it work? It just won't. What's the point? So let me just leave while I still have the time to, because later on it might get a little bit more difficult. But then, after they left, and as the years passed by, or the weeks or months passed by, and they got wiser with time, they realized that it was absolutely unnecessary. Spirit is drawing my mind again and again and again to this lose knot over here, thereby implying that the problem wasn't that big. They made a mountain out of a molehill, which was absolutely not required. In fact, with this inspiration energy over here, I think the reason why they get so nostalgic now is because to this date, even if you guys aren't talking to each other, they continue to get inspired by you. Maybe there is a way for them to know what's up with you these days. Perhaps you guys are connected on social media, or you have a public account, whatever it is. Maybe there are mutual connections between you guys who keep updating them about you whenever they ask. So they know what's up with you these days. They know what's happening in your life. And there is something about you that seems to inspire them. Maybe post this connection, not working out or whatever it was. You've since then gone on to accomplish a lot in your life, or you seem to be in a very relaxed and content energy over here. There's something about your energy, group one, pulling them in towards you without you even realizing it. I think you continue to have an impact on them, and perhaps you're not even aware of it. Naturally, you wouldn't be, considering the fact that these days there's barely any communication happening between you both. But it seems like the more they're realizing how they, let a little thing get in the way of what could have been something very beautiful, thanks to their dark night of the soul, or their self introspection, whatever it is over here, whatever it is that has made them wiser, they keep on they're in awe of you, group one. And I think that is what gets them in the feels over here with bittersweet, that it could have been so beautiful, and I was so quick to ruin it. Okay, let's take a look at your tarot cards now. What have they realized about you? So we have the Three of Wands, so definitely something about distance, and for some of you, I feel it could have been different countries that were about to separate the two of you that way. And we have the Hermit. And it's interesting that the Hermit is right underneath movement. So yeah, they are the ones who chose to go silent. In fact, I feel group one, for a lot of you, maybe they like legit ghosted you, even though it wasn't necessary, and they could have absolutely talked about it. Somewhere when I look at the spectacles over here with the Three of Wands, it definitely feels like, they definitely grew wiser over the years. And the more they looked back upon the situation, in retrospect, they realized that this action, or well, lack thereof, was absolutely not needed. In fact, the Three of Wands tells me that for some time, group one, you could have waited for this person to return, or you could have even tried communicating to them from your side, to which they didn't respond, or at least they didn't respond in the manner in which you would have ideally hoped that they would respond. And the fact that they didn't value the communication that was incoming from you back then is another thing that's upsetting them now. That I wish, when group one had taken the initiative to re-establish our connection, I wish I had taken group one up on their offer. I wish I would have communicated to them back then. I wish I would have met them halfway back then. Because now, with the Hermit and movement, definitely I feel like you have also withdrawn. You're also not talking to them anymore, because obviously it makes sense. For how long were you supposed to initiate stuff from your side? And I think that is also what, when I say nostalgia, and when I say they reminisce about the times they spent with you, I'm also getting the message with movement, Hermit, and now bittersweet, that they also reminisce about the times when you used to reach out from your side, which you've stopped doing now. It's been a long time since they've seen your name flash on their screen. Okay, let's see What are they going to do about this realization now that they've had it? So the card that came out for you guys for it is the Knight of Pentacles. So this is movement, yes, but then this is very slow movement. So I wouldn't expect any dramatic change of events overnight. But you might start noticing certain small steps, or you can say small activities from their part towards you, nothing too significant. In fact, it can be something as simple as them watching your stories again, or maybe years later they'll finally like some post of yours, something like that. After many many years they might wish you on your birthday, and they might want to take it forward from there. They don't want to get too ahead of themselves at this point with the Knight of Pentacles. But this is definitely a very stable energy. It seems as if now that they've had all these realizations about you, they want to make sure that they do not mess it up this time. And you see, and this is so remarkable, Spirit just drew my attention to this. One of the biggest mistakes, according to them, in the past was how quickly they left the connection. And in contrast, the energy of the Knight of Pentacles is very slow, it is very controlled. So they definitely do not want to repeat the same mistake. They want to ace the pace. They want to really be in control of the timing this time around. So it's going to be slow, but like I said, at least this time you might expect some consistency from them. All right, now let's see what guidance would Spirit like to give to you with regards to this. And for that, we have the Page of Wands. With the Page of Wands, I feel like Spirit is appreciating you. It seems like of late, Group 1, you've done a great deal to heal your inner child specifically, which is something that Spirit is really appreciating you for. And they do not want to get you, and they don't want you to get sidetracked because of anything. So if you want to give this person another chance, if you want to, allow them to come back in your life, all of that's great. However, and as you can see, the Page of Wands isn't facing the Knight of Pentacles. So the arrival of this person, or whatever actions it is that they have to take towards you, shouldn't affect the path that you are currently on. So whatever goals you have lined up for yourself right now, whatever plans you have made for yourself right now, your focus should be on that. If they want to come in the mix at that time, however you want to respond to it, you can. But for now, don't don't wait for this action to come. Keep up with the progress that you've made so far. All right, Group 1. So these are all the messages that I have for you right now. If you like this reading, do give it a thumbs up. Let me know down in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're new over here, and hit the bell icon when you do so. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Hello, Group 2. If you guys chose the second image, let's find out using the oracles first. What has the person on your mind realized about you now? So the cards that came out for you are smiley face, which says joy. We have the number 30 over here. Then we have peace, impartiality, and we have journey guide with the number 22, which says travel, change in location. Maybe some of you were drawn towards Group 1 as well, or if you want to check that out for extra messages, you can. Okay. The first thing that I heard, Group 2, is restlessness. So whoever this individual is, one of the many things that they've realized about you and about this connection is that they let their restlessness get in the way of this connection. They let their lack of contentment get in the way of this connection, because I see all these hot air balloons over here. I see this plane over here in the journey guide card, and it almost feels as if instead of really working upon grounding this connection with you, staying present in this connection with you, their mind would always waver into different places. Who else is there for me out there? What else is there for me out there? And definitely with impartiality, the person on your mind has now realized that they did you dirty. They did not do right by you, because it seems as if the efforts that you were putting into this connection, the time, the energy, the affection, the attention that you were putting into this connection was simply not being matched by this person. Your efforts were not reciprocated. Your feelings maybe were reciprocated, group 2, but the work that you were doing towards solidifying this connection was definitely not being met halfway. And they realize that now. They realize with joy that if they wanted to, they could really have been happy with you. And it's not like they weren't happy with you, they were. It's just that back then they simply didn't cherish it enough. Think of it this way: oh, I love this movie, I'm so happy watching this movie, I can watch this movie all day. But what about the other great movies that are out there? So I need to step out of this theater and let me see what other shows are ongoing, in what other cinemas and whatnot. You get it. So they had a choice, they made their choice, and now they're regretting that they shouldn't have made their choice. They should have stayed and focused on the happiness that they had with you. I'm sure most of you must have heard this, that a bird in hand is worth two in the bush. It seems like this is something that unfortunately back then our friend didn't realize, and now they're realizing it. This is interesting. If you look at the palms over here, the entire earth seems to be hovering, above those palms. So it's like they already had everything that they could have ever asked for from a connection with you. They already had that. Yet, instead of focusing what was already in their hands, instead of focusing on this lovely, wholesome connection that they had with you, they chose to leave, and explore other places. And when I say other places, I mean other connections, other people. So that was bad. And another message that I got with joy and impartiality, it's actually not so much their realization, but just a message that I'm getting for you, group 2. You limited your happiness to them. In fact, I feel like they were your whole world at that time. But for them, it just wasn't enough. And I wouldn't be surprised if you tell me that thanks to that, you started having issues such as, oh, what if I'm not good enough? Why would anybody like me? Clearly there's something wrong with me. If there wasn't anything wrong with me, if I was good enough, why would they have left? So because of their actions, you could have, plunged into this rabbit hole of self-doubt and self-loathing, which isn't true at all, because as spirit is conveying to us over here with this symbolism, you were enough, you are enough. The problem lied with them, and that is something they're also clearly telling us now themselves with this with these messages over here. They're realizing now that they could have had a very happy, a very content, a very peaceful, a very wholesome relationship with you had they put in equal effort, had they valued you when they had the time to. Because this travel and change in location is telling me that whoever it is that they went to after you, it was just not the final destination. They kept on changing the locations, if you know what I mean. They kept on changing partners after that. Why? Because the kind of peace and the kind of happiness that they were getting with you, it just did not come to them later on in any other connection. Whether it lasted for a year, whether it lasted for some months, it just wasn't the same. And I think, and that, I mean, like I said, they had that restlessness in them. So it made them keep on changing their destinations. And when they couldn't find the same kind of peace and the same kind of happiness that they had once upon a time experienced with you, that is what then made them to seriously sit down and ponder upon all these mistakes of theirs. The number 30 might be significant, number 22 might be significant. Maybe you guys stopped talking when you both were 22 and now you guys are 30-year-olds. It's also possible that there is some age gap between you guys. You could have met when you were 22 years old. Maybe in general you keep seeing repeating twos a lot. I think this journey of theirs of changing partners very frequently could have started when they were 22, and now that they're in their 30th year of their life, or now that their 30th year of life is approaching very quickly, is when they're realizing that they actually got everything that they could have ever wanted to, and so early on in life, but they just let all of that go away. I'm also hearing projection, so it is quite possible that they could have projected a lot of their restlessness onto you, because of which you could have felt like you weren't good enough. And my heart goes out to you because you had to feel that way, group 2. Okay, let's see what else have they realized. So we have the Star and we have the Four of Swords. So everything that they could have wished for, they got, but they didn't do anything about it. They chose not to do anything about it. And so it's like, I heard the one that got away. So that's how they look at you now. You were the one that got away, and they let you get away because they didn't do anything about it. In fact, they could have been the one to leave first, and now they think that, like, you're the one that got away. With the Star over here, it's no matter how many connections they've been in since then, you were always on the back of their mind. And I feel like the reason why you were always on the back of their mind is because this guilt for not acting on this connection when they had the chance to is what is also simultaneously lingering in their mind. It's quite possible over here with the Four of Swords that this individual has recently had one of the worst breakups they've ever had, and things got super ugly perhaps. And now that they have some time again to themselves, maybe that is when they're getting all of these downloads and all of these realizations are coming to them. There is also this realization that they upset you a lot. And with the Star card over here, the combined message is that you didn't deserve to get any of it. You didn't deserve the way they behaved with you because you were nothing but nice to them over here with the Star card, and they couldn't even give you the bare minimum. So there is that shame over here. Not just guilt, but also shame. Okay, let's see, is this person going to do anything about this realization? And for that, we have the Ten of Wands. So, first of all, group 2, let me just tell you that all these realizations that the person on your mind has been having, they're currently weighing very heavily upon them. It's almost as if they're getting one realization after the other, bam, 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 and it's just too much for them to process. And the kind of emotions that we've been channeling over here, guilt, shame, restlessness, the one that got away, all of that, these are all very heavy emotions. And I think that heaviness has come out over here in the Ten of Wands also. And I feel like it's going to take them some more time to fully process through all of this. So unless and until they do that, they might not take any action towards you. In fact, it is also possible, and because I heard shame right before this, that with the Ten of Wands, they might actually not feel comfortable enough to reach out to you or to initiate anything from their side because of how shameful they're feeling about what they did to you in the past. Like how if I do you dirty and when my conscience comes back, I will not be able to maintain eye contact with you. And that's exactly what this feels like with the Ten of Wands over here. They're so ashamed of the way they behaved, and they're so bothered by the fact that they let you get away. That might prevent them from taking any action towards you. And it's not like it hasn't crossed their mind, because definitely with the journey guide over here, it has crossed their mind that should they reach out to you or not. But with the Four of Swords over here, ultimately they choose not to, because hey, how can I look group 2 in the eye after what I put them through? Okay, let's see what guidance would Spirit like to give to you, group 2. We have the King of Swords over here. Something about A, you realizing what your self-worth is, and B, you should know of what it is or who it is that you deserve is what's coming across. Now, Spirit is saying, look, if you want to give this person a second chance, nobody's going to stop you. That's your free will. However, just know that you're the queen or king. And so do not accept anybody less than that. You should know what it is that you deserve, and you should not settle for anything less. So, unless and until this person can show up truly as your equal, only then should you invest in them again. Otherwise, you shouldn't. Another thing, with the King of Swords over here, Spirit is saying that do not unnecessarily burden yourself with guilt for drawing boundaries. So I'll tell you about this. Let's say that this person reaches out to you, all right, but you just do not want to talk to them because, let's say, you're still healing and you don't want to get triggered again, or you feel like they're probably not on that required level just yet, and so you either read their messages from the top, but then you choose not to reply or something like that. But then the whole day you feel guilty. Oh, what must they be thinking? What must they be feeling? How could I do this to them? No, that is exactly the mindset you need to snap out of. Choosing yourself is never wrong. Drawing boundaries for the sake of your mental peace is never wrong. So if for the sake of your peace, if for the sake of your healing, you have to step into this no BS tolerated, strict boundaries energy of the King of Swords, then so be it. Alright, group 2. So these are all the messages that I have for you right now. If you like this reading, do give it a thumbs up. Let me know down in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're new over here, and hit the bell icon when you do so. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Hello group 3, if you guys chose the third image, let's find out using the oracles first, what has the person on your mind realized about you now. So the cards that came out for you are Recycle, which says recover, with the number 21. Then we have Ghost, Rejection, and we have Archangel Haniel with number 15, which says joy, blessings, and intuition. Alright, we have hello again over here on this bag. I do feel like whoever this is perhaps wants to desperately talk to you again, but they might be fearing rejection from you at this point. That's just an extra message, okay? So we have the numbers 21 and 15 over here. These might be either of your birth dates. June might be of significance over here. March might be of significance over here. Maybe when you guys first met each other, you were 15 years old and this connection lasted till you guys were 21 years old. Something like that. Okay, anyway. Also 2015 and 2021. Maybe these 2 years have some significance, or this could have been the duration of this connection. Alright, so there is a pattern with this person, group 3. They just cannot seem to let go of their past with Recycle and Ghost over here. And their past wasn't very flowery, it wasn't good. In fact, it could have been a past where they faced some sort of rejection. They could have confessed their feelings to somebody who did not reciprocate their feelings. They could have faced like on the spot rejection, or maybe they were in a relationship with somebody and they got cheated upon, or whatever it was. They haven't processed it. They definitely haven't healed from it, and they most definitely haven't moved on from it, it seems. And this ghost of their past keeps on lingering around them. Like here in the rejection card also, you can see these 3 floaty heads around this bearded man. So I feel like these ghosts of their past, or the ghost of their past, keeps lingering around the person on your mind, and it definitely interferes with their present. Now, what they've realized is that when they were with you, they used to be very happy with you. Your arrival in their life was nothing short of a blessing. We have a ghost over here, we have an angel over here, an archangel over here. So just for the sake of example, it seems as if when you first entered their life, group 3, your light momentarily dispelled the darkness, and it made them forget about their past, for some time there, they got that hope that, oh, maybe I can move on, because they were genuinely so happy with you. It's like your smile, your presence when you used to hang out with them, it made all their problems, all these ghosts from their past just disappear, just go away. And with intuition, I feel like you might be an intuitive person, maybe you're an empath, you're just very good at picking up on other people's feelings, energies, and stuff like that. So you could tell that in between something would bother them or something would scare them, and you always made an effort to make them feel seen, heard, appreciated, and understood. And they loved all of that. They loved marinating in your warmth, in your feelings. However, as time passed by and as their feelings for you started growing stronger, somehow this ghost from their past wiggled out and found their way in your person's life again. You know, like, oh, hello again, it's me, the ghost from your past. I'm not going to let you live in peace. Like that. And because we have recycles energy over here with ghost, I feel like the more that the person on your mind started getting attached to you, the more this fear started developing in their head, that what if group 3 also leaves? What if group 3 also rejects me? Am I mentally prepared enough to go through that rejection again? Am I strong enough in my feelings to take that rejection again? Will I be able to handle it again? Will I be able to process it again? What if it crushes me? It's going to be the absolute worst. And for a lot of you, group 3, they could have left you before you got a chance to leave them, even though you had no intention of leaving them. But thanks to this fear, it's like chewing gum stuck in somebody's hair. It's very difficult to get rid of unless and until you shave off that part, cut it out. Anyway, so it was so difficult for them at that time to not listen to this ego, to not listen to this fear. And they, well, ended up doing exactly just that. They gave in to those fears. They gave in to those feelings that, oh, group 3 is definitely going to leave me. And it's quite possible that other issues alongside self-worth issues and stuff like that, self-esteem issues, could have started cropping up side by side. Why would somebody like group 3 choose to stay with me for the long term? And well, I mean, I cannot go through this again, so I'm not going to give group 3 a chance to put me through this again. So I'm going to take myself out of the equation. But in the act of taking themselves out of the equation, they ended up rejecting you. So they ended up doing to you exactly what it is that they feared you would do to them. And that is what they're realizing now. They're realizing now that they gave into their fears and ruined one of the only connections that had given them the most happiness that they've experienced so far in their life. And I think the more that this realization dawns on them, the more does this feeling of wanting to recover this lost connection, wanting to reach out to you again, wanting to talk to you again. But more than anything, I feel like what this person needs to work upon is this past of theirs, this baggage of theirs. They need to heal. And I mean, I don't know how good of a job are they doing with it. They are now, in retrospect, seeing you as a blessing in disguise. They are now realizing that you were their ticket out of their past. You were the blessing that could have taken them out of that darkness, but they didn't see it. They weren't grateful enough for it. I mean, they were grateful, but then, like I said, they let this past of theirs act like a wedge in between. Okay, let's see what else has this person realized about you. So we have the 3 of Pentacles over here, and we have Judgment. See, Judgment also talks about things like rebirth. So the more that, with step by step over here, the more that they started getting closer to you, eventually this fear that they had initially locked got unlocked and it crept out. The ghost crept out. And They're realizing with the Three of Pentacles that had they not given in to this energy, had they not given in to the energy of their past, and had they actually stuck with you, gradually they would have moved on from their past. Gradually they would have found their footing with you. Why? Because the Three of Pentacles is a very strong foundational energy. So whatever it is that you had, you and them, no matter how brief it was very solid, group 3. And it was solid enough to build upon. But they just did not give it that chance. They did not stick around long enough for anything substantial to come out of it, although the foundation work had been done and it was great. So now in retrospect, they're realizing that it was, basically all the efforts that you had done, you had put, and all the foundation work that they had laid alongside, they just let all of that go to waste because they let their past interfere. Instead of them controlling their mind or their memories or their emotions, it's like their past was holding the key, or you can say the remote control all along. And of course, with the Judgment over here, once the realization settles in, there's also this desire to come back in your life, to become a part of your life again, even if it is just as friends, for starters, of course. So let's see though, now that they've had this realization, what are they going to do about it, group 3? We have the Two of Cups over here, and I'm not surprised, honestly, because with joy and blessings, like I said, you are the one who came the closest to this person, and you are the one with whom they were the most happy. So now with the Two of Cups, definitely there is an intention to get back together with you. They might reach out to you in some time. For some of you, they might even ask you out. But this is the Two of Cups at the end of the day. So, and since this is a general reading, so I'm going to give you both the messages. Either you are currently now in a relationship with somebody else, or it is highly likely that the person on your mind might actually currently be in a relationship with someone, and maybe they're not happy in that relationship, or not as happy as they were with you, which could have sent them down the rabbit hole of realizations. And what they discovered was that they were the happiest with you. So while there is a strong possibility of them reaching out with Recycle and then Judgment and now the Two of Cups, whether you'll take them back or not is the little, like star of conditions apply over here. And whether they would have left their current partner, if they have a current partner, please do not get triggered. I don't know what the situation is with everyone. Maybe they're single, but in case they're not, and they reach out to you, you obviously would want them to first, sort out their relationship status before you can think about proceeding with them, which makes absolute sense. So there are all these terms and conditions apply in the act of them reaching out to you again. Okay, let's see what guidance does Spirit have for you, group 3. We have the Page of Swords. Now, the Page of Swords talks about breakthroughs, it talks about communication. I feel like this is a very strong indication that in case for the longest time now this has been a no contact situation, there will be some communication. But I think, and especially if, you've done your fair share of trying to communicate from your side in the past, I feel like you're being asked to wait for them to reach out now, instead of you once again taking any action. But let's just clarify this Page of Swords. Yeah, so that's a yes. That bottom of the deck is the Ten of Cups. So there is good potential over here. But I feel like now that they are the ones who've had that realization, so they're the ones who need to make things right. So they are the ones who should be reaching out now. You continue to live your lovely, happy, bright, glorious life that you are currently working upon, group 3. All right. So these are all the messages that I have for you right now. If you like this reading, do give it a thumbs up. Let me know down in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're new over here, and hit the bell icon when you do so. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.